The year is 322 BC. We're on the Greek island of Evthoia. The motionless body of Aristotle lies on a bed. His students stand vigil around him. His chief student, Antipater, puts his ear to Aristotle's chest.
Aristotle is gone.
While they're crying, no one notices as one student, Eimenides, slithers out. Eimenides sneaks into the nearby library, randomly grabs scrolls from the shelves and hides them in the folds of his toga. When he can't handle anymore, he sneaks out, creeping silently down the hall toward the exit. Sobbing uncontrollably, Antipater enters the hallway and he sees Eimenides.
Eimenides, is that you? What are you doing out here at such a time as this?
Eimenides panics and he runs for the exit, dropping a scroll in the process. Antipater sees it.
No! What are you doing this? We trusted you. Come back. Everyone come. Come back. Everyone come. You are needed.
The mourners all charge into the hall. Outside the house, Eimenides looks around for an escape route. He runs off just as a group of students come out of the house. He drops 2 more scrolls. Out in the streets, Eimenides runs away. Antipater leads a large group of pursuing students. Several of them now carry scrolls that Eimenides dropped. Eimenides ducks into a dark alley. He looks to see that he has dropped all but one of the scrolls he stole. He sighs and shakes his head. He looks out at the main road, but the students are all milling around looking for him. He notices that the rear door of one shop is slightly ajar. He slips into it. Inside, Eimenides stops to figure out where he is. The room is dark. He surveys the area as his eyes adjust to the dim lighting. He trips in the dark, dropping his last scroll. He finds himself lying amidst a pile of scrolls. He scrambles to find his, but it's hopeless. Suddenly a door opens, lighting up the room. The room is filled with scrolls. The massive form of the angry shopkeeper Demas fills the doorway.
Who are you? What are you doing here? You picked the wrong man to rob.
The shopkeeper grabs him and lifts him effortlessly off the floor.
Now you're going to find out what happens to people who try to steal from Demas.
On the street outside the shop, all is quiet until the shop door flies open and Eimenides flies out. He lands in the middle of the street, badly injured and barely conscious. But just then, a team of horses pulling a carriage runs directly over him. A crowd, including several of the students, gathers around his lifeless body. A classic multi-columned Greek building looms over the entire tragic scene. That picture slowly dissolves to the depiction of the same building, but this time it's part of a sign looming over a packed parking lot of a Los Angeles strip mall in the present day. The sign reads, Theo's Pizza and Grinders. 2 young men amble down the sidewalk toward the lot. Jack, an average-looking dude with a serious expression, and Duffy, who is hyper and anything but serious. Both men are approaching 30 years old. As they get nearer, their conversation becomes audible.
Because they taste funny. Oh, come on, Jack. A clown. You see?
Nope.
Oh, man. You never get my jokes. How do you expect to write funny if you don't know funny when you hear it?
Well, that's the $80,000 question.
Well, I thought you had a lead.
I do. This producer likes my writing, but he's looking for comedies. He said he'd listen to a pitch tomorrow if I had a solid comic idea.
Dibs on the lead role.
Don't hold your breath. I don't know. Maybe I should chuck the screenwriting dream and face reality.
Reality's not all that it's cracked up to be, pal. If reality's so great, why does it make such crappy TV?
Well, what do you suggest?
Try this one on for size. Why do elephants drink?
Forget it. I'm not in the mood.
Well, are you in the mood to be a telemarketer for the next 10 years?
I'm in the mood for lunch.
We're inside a Greek pizza shop. Postcards and framed pictures of Greek landmarks hang on the wall. A massive white board covered with hand-painted names of menu items, such as pizza, grinders, gyros, Greek salads, overlooks the room. Behind the armpit-high counter, the proprietor, Theo, holds court. He is cheerful with his customers, but rough on his staff, a teenage girl named Thea, and an elderly gray-haired woman, Yaya. A few customers await service. What do you want, my friend?
I think I'll have the prune pizza.
You want that to go?
Well, how else?
Yaya, have you finished making new batch of baklava? We almost out here. Thea, bring some soup for my friend here.
Coming, Papa.
A bell chimes announcing Jack and Duffy's entrance. Hello, my friends. What do I get for you today? Try Theo's new soup. Best in town.
I'll take the meatball sub, please.
Whatever you want, my friend.
I'll have Theo's special. Easy on the feta.
Coming right up for you. Jack goes to the drink cooler and takes a Snapple pomegranate raspberry ice red tea. Duffy grabs a 2-liter bottle of Coke. They settle into a booth. Theo shouts from behind the counter, Thea, we out of paper for grinders. Where are the rolls?
I'll look, Papa.
I don't understand comedy. I do drama. It's what gets my blood pumping. I want to make people cry or put fear in their souls.
Way too easy.
What do you mean?
Watch. Excuse me.
Yes?
I ordered this special, but I'm concerned about the ingredients. You see, I'm allergic to hot peppers, and my sister had the same allergy. She passed away right in front of me after eating a steak bomb at Subway. It was horrible. She left 3 young children, and I'm sorry. Every time I think of her grasping that last peppery breath, calling out to her children she left behind. Oh, I can't.
I'm so sorry for you. I check with you.
She goes back behind the counter.
You see? Any idiot with a sob story can do that. And frightening people.
He bangs his Coke on the table with a loud crash. Everyone in the place jumps and looks at him. Jack drops his Snapple. Coke fizzes out of Duffy's bottle onto his hands and on the table. He wipes both with his shirt.
Piece of cake? Try making people laugh. That's hard. I know. I do it for a living.
There's a ruckus behind the counter. What do you mean? We have to have more paper. I can't sell grinders without something to wrap them in. Thea, look in the basement. See if you find something, anything.
Oh, okay, Papa. Chill out.
The only thing chilling is my grinders. Hurry up, girl. She rushes off, down to the basement, where it's dark and filled with junk and cobwebs. She rummages through dirty boxes. She opens one and pulls out a roll of very worn-looking paper. She rushes back upstairs. Cut back to Jack and Duffy in the booth.
Your point is taken. Comedy is hard. I already know that. How am I gonna learn?
Don't look at me. Those who do can't teach.
Theo comes to the table with a sub under each arm and 2 cups of soup in his hands. My friends, grinders are ready. And here, 3 cups of new soup because I keep you waiting.
Thanks. It's no problem. Hey, he's right. This soup is delicious.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Duffy
we oughta-
spills soup onto his wrapped sandwich.
Hey, watch it.
As they clean it up, they notice the sub wrappers for the first time.
Man, they must have scrapped the bottom of the barrel for these wrappers. They look ancient.
Yeah, and there's writing all over them.
They unroll and inspect the papers. They have strange texture and weird markings all over them. The 2 men look wary about eating off them.
Oh, well, I don't suppose there's anything worse in the paper than the sub itself.
He bites off more than a single mouthful, but Jack is fixated on the paper.
Wait a minute. This is bizarre. These characters are all Greek.
Duh. It's a Greek place. What do you expect? Ig Payatinlay?
No, it's more than that. They look handwritten, and the paper.
Jack takes the paper and brings it to the counter.
Excuse me.
Yes, my friend. You like soup. You want more?
No. Yes, the soup was great, but these papers that you wrapped our sandwiches in.
You no like? There. Here. Now.
No. I have a question about the paper. Where did this paper come from? It doesn't look like the paper you usually wrap your subs in.
There. Where you get papers? My friend wants to know.
From the basement. They look like the right size and shape, so I brought them up.
But where did they come from originally?
Oh, probably come from old country when we move here. I'm not finished unpacking everything yet.
How long have you been here?
Short time. 25 year. Why are you so interested in food wrap?
Oh, things from Greece fascinate me.
I knew I like you, my friend.
Can I see the roll?
There. Get roll for my friend. She cute, but not so good at restaurant business. Thea returns with a roll of similar-looking paper.
Can I take a look?
Thea hands him what looks like an ancient scroll. Jack is fascinated.
I have a very strange request. Would you be willing to sell this to me?
You want to buy a roll of paper?
Yes.
What are you doing?
What do you say? How much do you want for it?
I cannot sell. If I sell, what I do with my grinders? I won't be able to sell any until I get more paper. What am I supposed to do then, my friend? Cut to Jack, Duffy, emerging from the shop, each carrying several large bags filled with unwrapped grinders. Jack carries the scroll under one arm.
So what is so important about this thing anyway? It's a roll of paper.
Come with me and you'll see.
Fine. Only one problem left.
And what's that?
What do we do with 120 grinders?
Party?
Better idea. Philanthropy.
Duffy hands out unwrapped subs to people on the street, dogs, cars passing by. He stuffs one in a mailbox. He puts change into a newspaper machine, opens the door, and puts a sub inside.
Best news in there.
Jack and Duffy arrive at a university campus. Duffy still carries the bag of grinders. A sign on a large building reads, Archaeology Department. Duffy stops in his tracks when he sees it.
Uh-oh. I see where this is going. You're going to see her, aren't you?
Well, I was thinking that she'd be the best person to inspect it.
Is that what this is all about? Are you looking for an excuse to go see Allie again?
No! I really think this is a valuable ancient scroll.
Plus you get to see Allie.
Plus, I get to see Allie.
You know, if that thing is worth more than 120 grinders, you ripped off my friend in the sub shop.
I would never do that. If this is worth anything, I promise to share the proceeds with him.
I'll hold you to that. If you scam that guy, it'll be no more soup for you, for him.
Inside the archaeology building, Jack knocks on a door with a sign that says, Allie Aquino, Research Assistant. The door opens and Allie Aquino, an attractive woman in her 20s, appears.
Well, hi, Allie. How are you?
I was fine until about 10 seconds ago. Duffy, I see your choice of playmates hasn't improved.
Nice to see you too, Allie. You're looking, ticked off.
Allie, I know you don't want to see me, but this is different.
Really? You mean you're going to be attentive, communicative, and caring?
That's not what I meant.
I didn't think so. So to what do I owe this royal pain of this visit?
Oh, come on, Allie. Does there have to be all this antagonism between us?
Why change now?
This is a professional visit.
Ah, you see, Jack, when I said you needed professional help, this is not what I had in mind.
Allie, can we come in?
No.
Allie, it's okay. We've come for your professional advice.
She reluctantly opened the door slightly wider. As they enter the room, Jack gazes around warily as if he expects an ambush.
Okay, spill it.
Thanks, Allie. I promise not to take any more of your time than you're willing to spare.
Too late.
Can we at least be cordial? I've come across something I want you to take a look at. I think it may have some value.
He lifts the scroll up for Allie to see, and as he does, her expression changes from one of complete annoyance to mild interest.
It looks like one of those old parchments you used to work on a while back.
He shows her some of the pages, and Allie gets more and more intrigued. She spreads them out on a table.
I recognize the Greek letters, and I'm pretty sure they're hand-printed. You used to tell me how to recognize that. See, I did pay attention some of the time.
Where did you get this?
It was a free prize when you bought 120 grinders.
Never mind. What do you think?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. This is an object of antiquity. It's hard to say certainly how old it is or anything about its origin without further investigation.
How about what it means? Can you read any of those words?
No, not very well. My Greek is not what it used to be. We should bring this to one of the other professors with more translation experience.
So is that really one of those scrolls like in ye olden days?
Most definitely.
I thought that was the case. But why is it made up of all separate pieces of paper?
Yeah, I thought scrolls were one long piece of paper so they could stand in the town, square like this. Hear ye! Hear ye!
No, in ancient times, they didn't have the technology to make long sheets of paper. Scrolls were actually pieces of paper glued together to make one long roll. I assume the adhesive didn't work very well and didn't survive the storage. But, by the way, what are these spots? They look relatively recent.
That's fantastic soup. If you suck on the paper, you might get a taste. It was just a suggestion. So what do you say, Allie? Has Jack done good here?
I suppose I should acknowledge that he might have stumbled onto a significant find here.
Well, thanks, Allie. I truly appreciate that.
Hey, you two aren't going to get all warm and runny on me, are you?
No danger of that. This is still a professional encounter, albeit an intriguing one.
So, how have you been, Allie? You seem to be doing well here. Nice office.
Yeah, I'm doing quite well, thank you. My work keeps me busy, and I find it very fulfilling.
I'm glad for you. You've worked hard for it.
Well, not as hard as you. As I recall, you had time for nothing other than writing scripts and marketing yourself.
We've been through this, Allie. That's my job. I have to do it. I didn't have rich parents footing the bill, making contracts for me.
Don't start on me, Jack. I've earned everything that I've...
Hey, have you heard that Jack's about to get his big break? He's working on a comedy for me. Lots of laughs.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Jack. And now that's a laugh.
Are you through? I'm ready to bring this conversation back to a professional level while my self-esteem is intact. Any chance we can see one of your associates to find out what this thing is?
Yeah, I think we can do that. I'm as curious as you are at this point.
Cut to the three coming out of an elevator into a hallway. Jack and Duffy trail behind as Allie darts down the hall, checking the office doors.
Most of these people are either in classes or have left for the day.
We can come back tomorrow if that's better.
No. I'd rather get this done today, if we can. Ooh, here's a possibility.
She stops before a door marked Barbara Clamley, Associate Professor. Clamley is spelled Clamlegh.
I don't know her, but she must know her stuff.
Who's there?
Allie Aquino? I'm a researcher on the first floor.
What do you want?
Well, we have an object here that might be of some archaeological value. I'm not familiar with your area of expertise, Dr. Clamlegh.
Clamlee, not Clamleg. What is wrong with you people? It's pronounced Clamlee.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Clamlegh. I didn't mean
It's
to...
not enough that I'm trapped in this miserable pit-picking apart millennium-old refuse. No, I have to endure half-wits referring to me through the utilization of the moniker of mythical bivalve mollusk appendages.
But
I live in the most glamorous city on earth, and I'm inhaling the excremental dust of anonymous ancients. Everyone else is getting their breaks in this town. When do I get mine? Now, what do you want?
This scroll. We think maybe...
Lamley grabs the scroll, suddenly overcome with excitement. She retreats with it into her office. Jack, Allie, and Duffy follow her in.
It had been stored in someone's basement, completely forgotten.
The text appears to be handwritten, and the parchment looks typical of the 1st century BC.
Lamley spreads several of the pages onto a table and pores over them.
Do you know what this says?
Well, it's all Greek to me.
Wait a minute. I recognize that word.
Are you the expert? Oh, I thought you wanted an expert opinion. It says Aristotle. This has all the earmarks of an original scroll from the master's personal library.
Oh, my.
Aristotle?
This belonged to Onassis? Wow! Does it say anything about Jackie?
Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, Duffy.
He was a student of Plato, who was in turn a student of Socrates. You must have heard of Socrates. He died drinking hemlock.
Well, that's a shame. I could have saved him. I know the hemlock maneuver.
Let me help. Duffy, it's Socrates.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get on with this? Many of Aristotle's writings were lost over time. We know they once existed because they are alluded to in other texts, but they've never been found. It's conceivable that this is one of them. It should be an elementary task to ascertain the identity of... Eureka! Here! It says comedics.
Comedics? What's that?
Well, it's well known that Aristotle wrote about...
It's well known that Aristotle wrote a companion volume to his Poetics, the book that laid the foundation for dramatic storytelling throughout history.
I know that book. I studied it for my screenwriting.
Well, then, you should also be aware that what Poetics did for drama, this book did for comedy.
Wow. Then you're saying, Dr. Clamley, that this is a find of truly historical proportions.
That is mere conjecture, Miss Aquino. To confirm, it would require considerable more study, translation, and consultation with my peers.
But you said
Do
that
you want an expert opinion or not?
Of course.
Of course we do. Jack, would you be willing to leave with Dr. Clamley for... How long do you think it would take you, Doctor?
At least a month. The tests are very involved, and the dialect in this document is obscure.
Jack?
I don't know. I'd like to think about it for a while.
What is there to think about, you fool? I can tell you whether that you have a legitimate treasure or something fit only to wrap your lunch in.
How did you know that?
Who else can do that? You? You? How about you? I can find the answers you're looking for.
Jack gathers up the pages.
I think I'll hold on to it.
No! You must let me study it. You must!
We're getting a little weirded out here, Jack.
All three edge toward the door.
We'll come back for your help if we need it. Thanks for your time, Dr. Clamley.
You have no idea what you possess, you idiots!
The three hustle out. Duffy slowly closes the door as he speaks.
Okay. You have a nice day too, Doc. Let's do this again sometime. Lunch is on us.
He takes a sub out of the bag and tosses it at her. She fails to catch it, covering her with meatballs.
Bye-bye.
The door closes, and agitated Clamley paces her office.
That was it. My ticket out of here.
She picks up the phone on her desk and makes a call.
Hello. It's your... I know you don't like me calling you at work, but this is urgent. You won't believe what I was holding in my hands a few minutes ago.
Back in the hall, the three stand catching their breath.
Nice girl. You too close?
No, I've never worked with her, but I'll avoid doing so in the future. You know what, though? If what she says is true, you've happened on one of the most important archaeological discoveries since the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Now, we could make a fortune on the Antique Roadshow. I can see it now. Bought for 120 grinders worth 5 million grinders.
Probably not the route we want to take. What would you recommend, Allie?
Well, first of all, protect it with your life. It's probably worth a fortune.
The sub guy's in for a windfall, Jack. Just remember.
Yeah.
An elevator arrives and they all get on. An instant before the door shuts, a hand thrusts through the narrow gap. When the door opens, Clamley steps into the doorway.
This is your final opportunity. Leave the scroll with me. I know people who would compensate you handsomely for it.
Thanks, but I think we'll be okay.
He pushes the closed door button. Clamley glares at him. The door closes on her, but she doesn't move. The door opens and closes on a couple of times, bouncing off her each time. Finally, Clamley lunges at Jack.
Give me that scroll.
Duffy shoves her out of the doorway. She thumps unceremoniously onto her bottom.
Going down?
The door closes. Cut to the three emerging from the elevator, looking shaken. They walk to Allie's office.
This is getting freaky.
That thing must be worth even more than I thought. Maybe you should bring it to your museum.
Well, I'll do that, but I want to do something with it first.
What could you possibly want to do with it?
Did you hear what she said? This scroll contains the secret of comedy. It's exactly what I need to create a great comic screenplay.
So it all comes down to work again, right?
No, but if this can help me make that leap, shouldn't I do it?
Jack, you'll never change. You know that. Hey, here's an idea. If you ever get the slightest sense of humor, you could write a romantic comedy. Or that is, if you ever get the slightest sense of romance.
Hey, Allie, why does an elephant drink?
She slams the door.
So shoot me. I was trying to lighten things up.
Get serious for a second. This is my last, best hope. I can't simply give it up. Don't you agree?
I do, but I'm not the one you're hung up on.
Cut to Jack and Duffy sitting at the dining room table in Jack's apartment. Pieces of the scroll are spread around. Duffy has a Greek to English dictionary in front of him. Grinders are spread around the table and the room.
At least we don't have to worry about going hungry.
Unless those bad boys walk off on their own. They're getting a bit ripe by now.
Okay, let's get to it.
Jack spreads out one of the sheets.
Okay. We're a couple of smart guys. Sure. We have the dictionary. We should be able to figure this out. We don't need that crazy clam leg.
You're right. Okay. Here we go. Where do we start?
Well, let's make it easy on ourselves. We'll take one letter at a time.
All right.
This first letter is a triangle thingy.
Ah, triangle.
Duffy flips a few pages in the book and finds that what he's looking for.
Triangle thingy. Okay. Got it. Now we're cooking with liquid oxygen. What's next?
Right. Not sure. It's kind of an A, but not. What would you say this is? An A?
Sort of, but not quite. Maybe we should move on to the next one. That little forky dude, that looks cool. I'll look it up.
The scene very slowly dissolves to later in the day when Jack and Duffy are still at it. Their clothes are rumpled, their hair disheveled, and their nerves frayed. Two half-eaten grinders sit nearby.
No way. It's more of a table.
That's not the one I'm talking about. This one, the horseshoe thing.
Who are we kidding? We haven't got a prayer of translating this.
Yeah, we've been at this for, I don't know, a real long time. And all we've got is a bunch of weird characters. Oh, pardon. And indigestion.
So what now?
Hey, it's your project, dude.
We live in LA, one of the most diverse cities in the world. There must be someone who speaks Greek around here.
What about the grinder guy? I'll bet he'll do it for a few hundred more subs.
No, I'd rather not involve him. He may think I'm trying to pull something on him.
Which we're not.
Which I'm not.
Why don't I Why didn't I think of this before? It's so obvious. Follow me.
Cut to Duffy and Jack as they scamper up the front steps of a Greek Orthodox church.
I used to date this Greek girl. She dragged me here a few times, so.
Jack and Duffy sit in the priest's office, fidgeting nervously. Duffy more so than Jack. Jack grips the skull, which is wrapped now in a plain bag.
Probably should have mentioned this before, but I hope no one here recognizes me.
Why?
Before Duffy can answer, a priest, Father Demetrius, glides solemnly in, dressed in full priestly garb. Jack and Duffy stand. Jack extends his hand, but Duffy bows deeply with his hand partially covering his face. Demetrius returned the handshake. Gentlemen, I trust I have not kept you waiting too long. My secretary said you had a matter of some urgency. Is this a personal matter of some sort? If so, we have counselors who can
No,
help you with
nothing like that, Your Holiness.
Father will do.
Sorry.
Say, you look familiar. Have we met?
Oh, no. I'm sure we haven't.
Because I remember an incident with the baptismal font, and I
Must have been someone else. I'm a Quaker. Yeah. Never been in a Greek church before. Nice place you have here.
They all sit. Jack pulls the scroll out of the bag.
Well, anyway, to get to the point, we need something translated. We have this old document that's written in Greek. We were hoping you or someone in the church could help us.
I'm sure we can help, but it could be time-consuming. Perhaps if a donation were made to our mission fund, that would provide adequate compensation for our time.
Yeah, sure, that's fair.
He hands a couple of sheets to Demetrius, who sniffs them. Do I smell fasolata?
What's that?
A Greek bean soup.
I think the paper was made from recycled beans.
Now, if you could take a look at this to see what you can make of it.
This looks straightforward. Aristotle, comedy, story, surprise. Yeah. That's good. Oh no! What a hoot! And then he turned and got it out. You got it. His priestly hat falls off. Get out of town! That's hysterical. Hey, Athena, get in here! You gotta see this. Oh my goodness! Look at, get a load of this girl. It's hilarious.
Oh my, that is funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is too much.
What? Excuse me. What exactly does it say?
So funny. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'll get this, Athena. It's I'll take it. Probably sensitive. Can you step outside? Because this could be sensitive. Father Demetrius. Can I help? Meanwhile, out in the waiting area.
What was going on in there?
I have no idea, but that paper must have some killer stuff. This is it, Duff. We've hit the jackpot. If that crew was hysterical, imagine how the general population will treat it.
Oh, yeah.
The office door reopens, but Demetrius doesn't come out. He just speaks through a crack. I'm afraid I can't help you, gentlemen. I have important business to attend to. Besides the writing in that scroll, it's a different dialect than I know. Good day.
But
He slammed the door on them.
What? What?
What was that about?
Maybe he was upset about losing the hat.
Something must have spooked him.
How do you spook a priest?
The phone call. Someone got to him.
Now you're getting a bit paranoid.
I don't think so. You heard Allie. She said to guard it with my life. And Clamleg was practically threatening us. This is bigger than we thought.
Fine. But let's get out of here. At least now we have a winner.
Well, you're right. Let's go back to my place and think this through.
Cut to the two riding in Jack's car.
So, whoever threatened the priest must have known we were there. That means we were followed. What are you doing?
This is where the guys with the machine guns are supposed to rappel down from helicopters, right?
You have a better explanation?
No, but it doesn't do much good getting crazy about it. We need to find someone to translate this thing. Look at that.
Bewildered, Jack and Duffy stare at a tall commercial sign at the side of the road. It's covered with a bed sheet with hastily pan-painted writing that reads, Acme Translation Services, Greek our specialty.
I could have sworn there used to be a Chick-fil-A there.
I love their waffle fries.
Should we check it out?
Things couldn't get any weirder.
Jack turns the car into the parking lot. Inside the translation shop, it does indeed resemble a Chick-fil-A. The only person in the shop, Blaine Pratt, fidgets behind the counter. He's a sleazy guy in his mid-20s.
Welcome to Acme Translation Services. How can I help you today?
I even smell the waffle fries.
Why does it look like a Chick-fil-A in here?
Oh yeah, we're brand new and we haven't had time to remodel. Didn't want to keep our customers waiting.
Duffy looks around the empty shop.
You seem to be handling the crowds fine. Get a lot of translation business, do you?
Oh yeah, lots, tons. We have to turn them away. That's how good we are.
You're good at turning them away, at least.
Blaine can't take his eyes off the scroll.
Oh, so what do you have there? Something you need translated?
Yeah, but...
Well, you've come to the right place. Leave it with me, and I'll have it back to you first thing tomorrow.
He reaches for the scroll, but Jack recoils.
You don't even know what language it is.
Doesn't matter. We do them all.
Okay, right. We were hoping not to leave it overnight. Maybe we'll come back.
They turn to leave, but Blaine runs around from behind the counter to stand between them and the door.
No, you should do it now. We have a sale running. All Mediterranean languages are 50% off, today only.
Oh, really? And how much would that be?
Half what it usually is.
Sounds like a great deal. Let's vamoose, Jack.
They bail in a hurry. Blaine calls to them out the door.
You'll regret this. You won't find anyone else who can help you.
Screeching tires are heard. Blaine gives up. He takes out his cell phone and makes a call.
No, they didn't buy it. I'll crank it up a notch. Don't worry.
He leaves to the back of the shop. On his way out, he passes a young man and a young woman on the floor, bound and gagged, wearing Chick-fil-A hats. Back in the car, Jack and Duffy ride.
Can't we stop somewhere? That smell was getting to me. I'm jonesing for some fries now.
No way. This has been the strangest day of my life, and I'm ending it ASAP. I'm going home to unwind.
Then drop me off at my place. I'll go out on my own. Sure you don't want to come? I'll drive.
No thanks. I've had enough excitement for one day without taking a ride in that beast of yours.
You're hurting my feelings, friend. That car is very important to me.
Maybe so, but...
Well, I think it's you.
Hello? Yes, this is Jack Landon. Who's this?
Jack jerks the car to the side of the road.
Who is this? How did you get this number? What are you...
What was that?
It said, if you care about your health, give up the scroll.
You know, you can drop me off right here and I'll hoof it the rest of the way.
Thanks for your concern.
Well, what are you going to do?
This is more than I bargained for. I've got to hide this thing. Would you...
Oh, no. This is your baby. If it was up to me, I'd sell it for a quick payoff.
Fine. I'll take care of it. I'm not going to be bullied out of this. I may never get this kind of break again.
He drives off. Later, Jack's car pulls over to let Duffy out at his home.
By the way, do you know why elephants drink?
The car speeds away, tires squealing. Duffy barely escapes getting yanked along with it. Cut to Allie's apartment where she relaxes with a book. There's a timid knock on the door. She looks through the peephole and lets out a heavy sigh. She opens the door to reveal Jack standing there with the scroll.
Am I going to have to take out a restraining order on you?
I'm sorry, Allie. I hadn't planned this, but can I come in?
It takes a few seconds, but Allie steps aside to let Jack in.
I have a huge favor to ask you. I don't want to impose.
Get on with it.
Jack extends the scroll to her.
Would you please hold on to this for me for a little while?
Me? You're willing to entrust me with the key that unlocks your brilliant screenwriting career? Oh, I am humbled by the fact
Please,
that...
Allie. You've never understood this dream of mine. Fine, write me off as a crazy workaholic. All I want to do is tell stories. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Haven't you ever wanted something so badly you were willing to sacrifice almost anything for it?
I have.
Then please help me this one last time. I promise not to bother you again. I'm asking you because I trust you more than anyone else I know.
Okay, Jack. I can see this means a lot to you, but why can't you keep it yourself?
Jack opens up a curtain in an outside window and peeks out.
I'm afraid there are people who want it and will try to take it from me forcefully.
Jack, what are you talking...
Don't worry, as long as they think I have it, you're not in danger.
No, I didn't mean that. What about you? Are you going to be okay?
Me? Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. It's probably nothing. Duffy thinks I'm being paranoid.
Well, don't do anything crazy. When all this is said and done, it's only a roll of paper that happens to be the fulfillment of a lifetime dream. I know.
Thanks. Now, if I can get something to stuff in this bag so it looks like I'm carrying the scroll back out. In case I was followed, I don't want them to know I left it here.
The paranoid thing. Maybe Duffy has a point for the first time in his life. I'll get something.
She goes to another room, and Jack peeks out again. Back at his apartment building, Jack pulls into his driveway. He opens the car door and surveys the area. When he's sure the coast is clear, he runs to the front door. Inside, Jack is wired. He shakes visibly. He tosses the bag with the decoy scroll onto the sofa. He goes to a CD rack and rifles through it. He pulls out a CD and puts it in a player. He sits in a chair, leg bouncing as the CD plays.
Hello, dear friend. You are entering a quiet place, a place just for you. To set the mood, turn off as many lights as you can.
Jack leaps up and turns off a couple of lights. He rushes back to the chair, stubbing his toe in the process.
For maximum effect, light a candle or two.
Jack jumps up and turns on the lights again. He fumbles through some drawers and cabinets. He can't find what he's looking for and is frustrated.
Good. Now take a few deep...
Jack runs over to the CD player and stops the CD. He goes back to the search. He locates a couple of candles and some matches. He sets them on a table in front of his chair and lights them. He runs back to the CD player and starts it again, then leaps back into his chair, trying to calm himself down.
Hello, dear friend. You are entering a quiet place, a place just for you. To set the mood, turn off as many lights as you can.
They're off! Let's go!
For maximum effect, light a candle or two.
Okay, I've got them. Come on. Relax me already.
Good. Now take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes. Rest your feet flat on the floor. You are feeling more calm already. It is quiet. Feel the quiet. Be the quiet.
Jack is finally getting into it when a loud crash is heard from somewhere in the apartment. He gets up and looks for the source of the sound.
Your heart is already slowing. Listen to your heartbeat. There is no other sound.
There is another crash. Jack's attention is drawn toward a closet door.
Keeping your eyes closed, reach out your hands, palms up.
Jack reaches out slowly to the closet doorknob.
Visualize peace pouring over like a gentle spring rain.
Jack opens the door and a pile of coats, sports equipment, and cleaning supplies pile onto him. Blaine falls out too. He is as bewildered as Jack.
You are alone with yourself and at peace with yourself.
Blaine leaps onto Jack, who falls to the floor under him.
You are as light as a feather. You feel as though you might simply float away.
Jack struggles to get out from under Blaine. The two fight, but neither of them knows what he's doing. Jack pushes Blaine off. They roll away from each other and lie panting on the floor.
Remain in a comfortable, relaxed, upright position.
Blaine spies the bag that contains the decoy scroll. He crawls over to the sofa. Jack crawls over to intercept him.
Repeat to yourself, I am at peace with the world. I am at peace with the world.
Jack grabs Blaine and pulls him away from the bag. Blaine ineffectively punches him. They struggle on the floor.
Concentrate on the parts of your body, relaxing each one. First, your hands.
Both rise unsteadily to their feet. Jack punches at Blaine as Blaine takes a swing. They strike each other's fists and recoil in pain.
Now your legs. Feel the tension slowly drain out. Feel peace take its place.
Jack kicks at Blaine, misses, and bangs his shin on a table.
Ow!
Jack hops a few times on one leg. As he recovers, Blaine stumbles into him and knocks him to the ground. The candles are swatted off the table.
You are moving to a place of rest deep within yourself. Don't fight it. Let it take you.
Blaine has Jack pinned and chokes him.
Now take long, even, deep breaths.
Jack can't breathe at all. He struggles to take Blaine's hands from his throat.
In, out. Breathe peace in. Breathe tension out.
He shoves Blaine off. Blaine's head whacks the table and he is temporarily stunned. Again, they are both too exhausted to move, straining to upright themselves.
Feel warmth filling your limbs. First, your legs.
Jack looks down and sees that the candle has set his pant leg on fire. Attempting to put it out, his shirt sleeve catches.
Then your arms. Then your torso. You are warm all over.
While Jack tries to extinguish the flames, Blaine recovers and grabs what he believes to be the scroll and makes a dash for the door. Jack rises and grabs him, but Blaine lets loose one last blow to Jack's gut. The wind is knocked out of him. He collapses while Blaine runs out.
Again, take deep cleansing breaths. Fill your lungs with air. Deep, deep breaths.
Jack still struggles to breathe. He staggers over to the CD player.
You have reached a place of complete silence, absolute calm, and perfect peace.
Jack hits the open button. He takes the CD out and flings it across the room, shattering it, and he collapses in exhaustion. Cut to Jack in a bar, finishing a drink. His clothes are burnt, his hair is disheveled, and a bruise is emerging on his cheek.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I needed something stronger to calm my nerves. Okay, thanks. I don't care why an elephant drinks, but I know why I do.
The bartender approaches him.
Keep 'em coming.
While Jack broods, Lila Dement, a drop-dead gorgeous woman several years older than him, walks in. She checks out the room as if she's looking for someone. She walks up to the bar and sits a couple of seats from Jack. She looks him over.
Excuse me for being forward, but you look like if you've been in a train wreck.
Yeah, my life.
Can it be that bad?
For the first time, Jack looks up and takes in the source of the voice. His eyes widen and his jaw drops. He looks as if he wants to say something, but he can't.
You want to talk about it?
No, it's not all that interesting. I mean, I'll talk, but you don't want to hear about me.
Lila glides over to the seat next to Jack.
Maybe I do.
The bartender comes over to serve her.
Whatever he's having, it's working wonders for him. So, what's your story?
Jack,
She extends her hand. Jack shakes her hand, but she holds onto his longer than necessary.
I'm Lila. Seriously, talk to me. I'm very interested in stories.
Jack is confused by the attention, but he is flattered into lowering his defenses.
I've had the best and worst day of my life.
Go on.
I had the opportunity of a lifetime in my grasp today. Now it's taking a toll I'm not certain I want to pay.
Very intriguing. You're a writer, aren't you?
How did you know that?
Well, first, we're in L.A. Every other person is either a writer or an actor. An actor would take more interest in his appearance.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, it was the way you use words. You have a fascinating way of expressing yourself.
Thank you. What did you say before about being interested in stories? What did you mean by that?
I'm always looking for good stories and good storytellers. That's why I wanted to hear your story. It's my passion and my job.
What kind of job?
I'm a development executive at W.C. Johnson Film Studios.
Honestly?
Honestly, is that so hard to believe?
Yes. Well, no, but
Let me guess. You're an aspiring screenwriter and you think you've hit the jackpot.
No. I wasn't thinking.
She leans closer to him and puts her hand on his leg.
Maybe you have.
Jack spills his drink.
You look nervous. I can understand.
She takes his hand and fingers his scorched sleeve.
It looks like you've been burned before. Are you working on something now?
As a matter of fact, I've recently discovered something that I think has real potential.
Lila pulls a business card and some cash from her purse. She places the cash on the bar and the card in Jack's trembling hand. She downs her drink in a single gulp.
Call me tomorrow. I'd love to receive your pitch.
With that, she runs her hand down his leg, turns, and leaves the bar. Jack gapes at her all the way. Meanwhile, the bartender has come over to him.
No more for me today. I've got to have my wits about me.
He puts some money on the bar and rushes out.